The St. Louis Closet Company, she owns it. For how long have you owned it?
Going on 23 years.
23 years. You were in once a month with the wine cellar, St. Louis Cellars. We liked it so much. We missed you so much. We said, well, how can we get you back on the show? And you and I put our heads together and said, how about a small business segment?
Absolutely. Well, thanks for having me. Really, really excited to be here. Small business is something near and dear to my heart, and just really excited to be able to sort of spread the word, let people know how great St. Louis is for starting new businesses.
You started St. Louis Company, St. Louis Closet Company. How old were you?
I was 25.
25. And much experience, or you just said, I'm going to do this, and you started it, right?
No experience at all, actually. I was in graduate school studying communications and waiting tables at 3 different restaurants.
And you said, I want to do this, and you literally started it out of your garage.
Right. I got a job at another closet company for about 2 weeks and fell in love with what I was doing. And if you are going to be successful as a business owner, you have to love what you're doing. So I dropped out of graduate school. I quit working at 2 of the 3 restaurants just in case things didn't go well. And I started a business.
Is it like throwing your hat over the wall and saying, I have to figure out a way to get the hat, so you just sort of do it?
Well, for everybody, it's different. Some people have a lot of experience already, so for them, it's not as scary. Some people are young and they have absolutely nothing to lose, so they don't care if you get the hat on the other side of the wall.
Right.
They're just doing it for the adventure. And some people, it's just been their lifelong dream to own a business, so they'll do everything to get to the other side of the wall.
All right, so give us a couple of helpful hints. There are people, as you said, in all sorts of ways of life. There are people who have an idea who don't have any money, who have money who don't have an idea, have a little money, and then they're like, I don't know what I want to do.
Well, first of all, I think you need to decide why you want to start a business. Just because you're good at something or just because you have a good idea doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be a good business owner. Yourself, for example, you're a great talk show host, but do you really want to own a radio station? So it's different. Just because you're good at a task or a job description doesn't mean you're going to be a good business owner. So I think you have to really sit back and decide, do you want to manage other people? Do you want to hire and fire people? Do you want to deal with licenses, taxes, government restrictions, healthcare? Do you want to deal with those things, or do you want to just stay with what you do best? So I think that is sort of one of the biggest obstacles people need to get through when they're starting a business, is figure out, do you really, really want to do this? And it has to be something you love, because you're going to be doing it round the clock.
So if you make pies and you love to make pies and you want to start a pie company, you might not make pies. You might be busy buying apples and buying, pie tins forever, and you stop doing what it is you love to do.
Absolutely. You may, you get involved with sales and marketing. You get involved with, like I said, taxes, licenses, hiring, customer service, human relations. So you really have to decide if you're the type of person. Secondly, you have to determine what type of business you have. Are you a service business? Because if you're going to sell your service as, let's say, a computer repair person, your business can start up probably quicker and less expensive than a business like mine. When I started St. Louis Closet Company, we were a manufacturing business from day one. So it required I had facilities, I had machinery, I had vehicles, I had tools. So sort of determining what type of business. And then probably the number one most important thing, and a lot of people sort of think, oh, that's not important, but I think it's probably the most important thing, is to write a business plan. A business plan is really your roadmap to what you're going to do in the first month or 2 of your business, but also the first year, 2 years, 5 years.
But isn't a business plan just pure guessing? I mean, how does anybody know how many apple pies you're going to sell in 4 months?
Well, let's hope if you've gotten to the point of writing a business plan, you've done some research on your market. You have researched, the city you're going to be selling the pies. You're going to research whether or not you're a business where people just walk in, a retail store. Are you going to be selling your pies on the internet to the entire United States or the whole world? The invention of the internet and the World Wide Web has changed business opportunities so much. When I opened my business, I knew that we were going to be located in St. Louis and just service St. Louis.
Right.
So I didn't have the opportunity to search all over the world. When I wanted to research competition, I drove to Chicago and talked to somebody who owned a closet company in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that writing a business plan, you have to do your research. You have to research your location. You have to research your product. You have to do some version of financial information. How much does your pie going to cost to make, and how much can you sell it? And are you going to be able to sell it in your marketplace? Are you going to need employees? And how are you going to get customers? That's one of the biggest things a lot of small business owners seemingly and kind of funnily forget. How do we get customers? We can have this great product, this great service, but you're just going to sit there and wait for somebody to open your door or call. You have to get into
Hi,
sales.
you look like you sell closets.
You have to get into sales and marketing right away. And then, so who is your customer? Is your customer, like I said, is it a global product? Is it a local product? Is it females, males, kids, older people? Determine who your customer is so that you can directly market that person.
My biggest problem with businesses, or thinking about opening up a business, is the same problem I have with drawing cartoons. And listen to this. I've always wanted to draw a cartoon, and every time I sit down to draw a cartoon, I always think, everything's taken, right? And the same thing with business. I want to start a business, but everybody's selling something. I want to sell something no one else is selling. I think people make it too hard for themselves. You can open up a store in which somebody else is selling it. You just do it a little differently, a little nicer, a little cheaper, a little more expensive, a little better. I mean, you don't have to invent the microchip to open up a company.
Well, absolutely. And competition is good in any business. One of the parts of your business plan needs to be research on your competition. Where are they positioned? Are they the high price leader? Or are they the low price? And what can you do to set yourself apart from your competition? Competition is great. And in today's world, I'm sure there are things that have not yet been invented, but it seems to me also like everybody's already done everything.
Right.
So you need to figure out a way to do it better, less expensive, higher service, any way that you can offer a product that's going to set you apart from your competition.
They often say that small businesses close down in the first year, but I've also read that small businesses purposely close down, and that small businesses, startups, do a lot better than people think.
Well, the Small Business Administration, which is an amazing resource. If anybody is interested in starting a small business, they really need to go to sba.gov. It's an incredible resource. But, 1/3 of all new businesses fail. So that's a lot.
Right.
But that means 2/3 make it.
Right.
So that is a lot. And, I feel like you need to start young, because if you're going to fail, do it when you're young and you don't have a lot of responsibilities.
Right.
I started mine when I was 25. I wasn't married. I didn't own a house. I barely owned a car. I didn't have kids in private schools. And so, although I was willing to take this risk, there wasn't much to lose.
I got 1 minute. When did you know you were going to make it?
I don't know if I still know after 23 years. I go to work every single day. I work really, really hard. You do what it takes. An entrepreneur, small business owner, you have to do everything and be willing to do everything. So you never really know. I feel that with my group of employees, with the product we offer, and with being located in St. Louis, I'm pretty confident that we're doing pretty good.
That's Jennifer Williams. She's going to be here once a month for all business ideas. And you can take different chunks of small business and talk about it. The 20% McGraw off Murphy bed sale still going on at St. Louis Closet Company?
It is. It goes through the end of the year. Our phones have been ringing off the hook. Everybody wants to be just like you.
There you go. stlouisclosetco.com. It's on Manchester, just north of Big Bend. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, McGraw.
Jennifer Williams, St. Louis Closet Company, 9 o'clock, KTRS St. Louis.
From